Hello, it's Pigsy doing another video. Just go out for a bit. You can go if you want. So, what should we talk about today? I think climate change might be one to talk about. There's so much stuff going on with that, with propaganda around it. Yes, the climate is changing, that's true. Do we fully understand how it's changing? Probably not. It's a little bit more complicated than just simply, in the way people have been led to believe, really. It's not simply I missed my turning. That's fine. I don't know where I'm going. I would want to pop out and it's some mystery place. Yeah, just I was using a child in the news, and she's gone round, and what she's saying is they're not doing enough. They're not doing enough for the for climate change. The government are not reacting. But what do they want? What are they proposing? This doesn't make any sense. You know, I can have a protest, but is it because I want a particular thing? So they want to be listened to, and then all the people do. The answer is politicians say, yeah, we agree with you. Yeah, it is a problem. You know, it's like, yes, but it's a problem and you've got to take it seriously. Yeah, we've said it's a problem. You've got an issue with it. But we're not going to react to it because we don't know what to do ourselves. So they need really something a bit more material. Oh, crumbs. Let me go in. There's all these cars. I've got to change gear. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, and it's the issues with groups that want to block and cause mayhem. That's called destruction. That's raise awareness. People are aware that there's a problem. They're aware that the weather's patterns are different and the environment's different. But then, how do we tackle it? So what I'm looking to do is I'm going to add extra plants into the woodland. There's some areas where I live, and they've removed loads of things. Mum was saying there used to be loads of water lilies, but they removed them. So I'm going to write to the council and say, why have you removed loads of vegetation from the lake? It's not a tourist attraction, it's a bloody lake. It serves an ecosystem. You basically damage an ecosystem by ripping it all up. And that's what they did. They removed all the bushes around the outside, and then they removed lily pads and things where fishes could hide, basically. And then they make these artificial banks for the ducks. I think they're just trying to downgrade it, and then they can just build on it. That's what I really want to do. They're looking at a bit of land and thinking, if there wasn't a bloody lake there, we could build any old crap we want on it. And then make money, because money is what makes us our heads go round. We get off on it. But it's sick. So I think that's one thing, is really to tackle the ecosystem, improve it, sustainability. Nobody's taking care of the wildlife, and you're leaving it up to councils to do it all, and their budgets are busted, basically. So if you're going to make a change in your own country as well, try to influence the ecosystem. Nature is more recipient than any government. Get on and get it done. It's simple as that. I mean, I did try to grow a redwood tree, but I think it's passed away, to be honest. But I'll try again, or maybe I'll move the actual seeds to the woods and find a bit of ground, dig it up, rest them on the surface, and then we need to get a right kind of mixture, maybe a bit more heading into autumn, a bit more rain, basically, give it the opportunity to sort of get going, warm enough and wet enough. Again, the winter might be too much for them, so it's finding the right time. But yeah, get the ecosystem going. Really, that's a goal. And so I'm doing OMAD. What's the impact of that on the environment? Well, if I'm splitting my meals by a third and I'm doing 7 rather than people doing 21, that's I've basically eaten for 3 people. So it's like dividing the population by the 3. So you end up with less waste, better usage of food, better understanding of food, avoiding certain foods. There's something else I learned. There's things in the food industry that basically are being overlooked. The reason they add loads of salt is because it lacks fibre, and salt, because I've added salt washes, you basically going to cack it out basically. So your bowel moves. You're not going to get much nutrition. You might get some of the minerals from the salt, but you're literally going to be pushing it out your bowels. And that's why you've got loads of salt in your food. So it can come out one end pretty quick. Now, if you remove the salt out of it, you might have trouble pushing it out. That's not how I was going to the garage. I was going to say, what is he up to? Come on. No, I'll let someone out. You could have just gone in now. Maybe there's joggers. Shouldn't be too hard. So little things, and I mean, okay, I drive around my car, but that's part of my work. I'm unable to deliver support in people's homes and care and all sorts of things I do in the community without using it. However, if I am taking somebody out, we're both using the car to get there, and I'm assisting them and all sorts. So I'm taking the pressure off society. So really, that's the big thing. What can you do to change or improve your society? Doesn't require a protest and wasting time, because stopping people working and stuff only means they're going to have to make up the time, and they're going to use more energy, which are going to drain from the environment. Like stopping cars going to where they need to go only means the person has to go back home, and then he'd probably have to work double the amount of work the next day to catch up, and that's going to be more environmental damage. So it doesn't make any sense. So it's an unfocused. It's a propaganda mechanism as well. So what do they think? Add more taxes? Will that money ever get to the environment? Like all the charities, 80% will disappear, will go into the banks. There'll be people having their roast dinners and eating at nice restaurants and all sorts, and going, thank you, protesters. That was really good. We raised some money for the awareness, and it's now been shoved in our pocket, so I can get myself a fat bonuses. There's reasons why banks pay themselves bonuses. It's not coming out of interest alone. It's coming out because of their investments and interests the banks have. This chap's got to come across. Come across! Not this is a taxi. Come across. I could box you in if you like. I don't think you'd want that. Come on, what are you doing? Being a loony. So yeah, there's ways to improve the environment. Just need to get on it. I mean, I'm I can't exactly say I'm doing everything I should be doing, but I'm aware that putting a plan together, maybe I need to write down a plan. So I'm growing lots of plants indoors, which I benefit from, and then I'm increasing the seeds. I might get some things like some datoras and all sorts of things in the environment. There's people that are very much into only grow what's native to Britain, which is great. But the council screw it up and they just pick out certain trees that they want to maintain and plant. The birds have got F all to eat because they've targeted trees that make less mess, less seeds and things are dropped. So the birds haven't got anything to eat. The actual government's trying to kill nature, They're trying to control it and manipulate it and put it to a position where it's easy to maintain. And it's there's a song, isn't there, and they say turn around about going to a tree museum, and that might be a reality. They say these trees are rare or extinct. We don't have this type of tree in Britain anymore, or plants and stuff. So you just need to get it out there, put pressure on the council. I might just write a letter and say, hey, what happened to this lake? It was lovely, and you ripped up all the bushes and things. And I'm unhappy with it, and so I'm going to add things to the environment to improve it. I do not understand the purpose of you beautifying the lake when it serves as a attraction for wildlife, not for humans. It's not designed just for human interest, because it's just rubbish basically. And I think that's what it is I tell you what's happening, I'll tell you why. They chop all the bushes down, right, and so that people can see the lake, and it increases their property value. If the lake looked like a sewer, and had all sorts of, like a bog or something, a swamp, they would hate it, because then people would say, well, why would I want to live next to a swamp? Well, not necessarily like wildlife, but it doesn't serve that. It's just the idea is it gives you a nice view of the lake. You can walk your dog, you can run around it, but the lake's not doing what it's designed to do. It needs to be left alone. And I've had this moan about, so I've really got to hit a few councils, and I had this thing about culling seagulls, and I'll have a go at them for that. I said, well, maybe you should cull your staff and stop them bloody clearing the beaches. You're removing the food source for the seagulls, and you wonder why they got issues. The reason they dive bomb people after chips is because their diet is based on chips. They don't get any food anymore because you removed it, you silly buggers. And that's it. I'll tell you what we should do. If I remove the money from the workers, you see what happens. You see they would be dive bombing people for chips, running down the street trying to eat chips off them. Especially if they started having kids. And living outside. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just silliness. So there's some people are very eco switched on, but I would say define. This the other thing is, if when it gets with propaganda, people go, oh yeah, the planet's heating up and stuff, and they let other people deal with it because they follow the crowd, and it's got this, somebody saying, well, I'm going to go to government and tell them what I think. And then they come up with these silly ideas like, if we shrunk people's heads, that's one thing, some Chinese bloke or some Japanese bloke. So he said, oh, if at birth we sealed up their skulls, people would grow smaller by forcing them to have smaller brains. What the hell? I mean, the guy's going to deform children and damage their fucking brains. And he thinks that's normal behaviour. He's a fucking psychopath. And then there's people saying, oh yeah, scientific. Really? I mean, you just listen to your own heart. Your heart says it. It says, that's fucking insane. So you've got knobs like that in the world. Or they've already genetically altered flipping cows to produce less methane. But nobody ever talks about it. It's all covered up, hush hush. And you're probably eating these things. And they've probably got part human in them, and they can't digest the grass properly, so they start giving them weird feed instead. And after a while, you end up with a human tasting cow that you won't ever see, because it'd be locked up in some prison. It'd be like some Morals Island or something. I have to remember what the name of that is, but where he has like these weird hybrids, and they take pills to remain human, but they're like something out of Thundercats. And he buggers up because he realises in the film, he's got some weird pacemaker that's with some electric device in it. That was nice. Traffic lights don't work and it chicanes the road, even better. So that's my question about going back to the environmentalist. What are your goals? What are your long-term goals? Let's save the planet. Plant more plants, plant more trees. It absorbs carbon. Carbon's not your enemy. It's a part of your energy cycle. The problem is you chopped all the trees down and now you're stuffed, and you benefited from them not being there. And we live in a society, or we live in a type of system that's artificial that we've created. I mean, what we've done is taken a kind of microcosm world we would have created, like a village, and we've extended it across the whole planet. There you go, shut it. And so there's so much there, really. It kind of gets to the wick a bit, because it gets promoted quite hard. And there's other stuff today, stuff going about Trump. Coming to the UK, like you can just turn around to bar people from coming to the UK. No, you can't. And all these silly people go home. He's a racist. I don't think so. He might be a bit of a fascist in some way, but that's what you get when you're rich. You don't think rich people act like poor people. So you've got people wasting their time with these posters that they've been given to by some group that's paid for it to propagate friction in society and create distraction and disharmony. Because I tell you what, if everyone gets along together, you don't need the police, you don't need the sodding army or any of that. But if we need to foster fear, because we need these people in line, we need these people under control. I think it's just time to grow up. It's like government, the child of the elite needs to be. It's now It's past the toddler stage. It should be coming to a teenager now. It's got aspirations off this world. And maybe that's the fear. The fear is there's something going on outside of this planet. And what we're doing is just keep them in the fairground mentality. And the other issue is that people like myself and people like yourself, they come into this world and they already have a good grasp of how the universe works. They have inborn knowledge, and it's this knowledge that's there all the time, and they've got to push so much resistance. You know, it's a bit like I found OMAD, and then as it started to work, my body started opening up and say, this is the old system, this is what happens. Eating better, controlling your body better. You don't need alcohol. Yeah, you can have alcohol if you want on occasion, but hey, you don't need it, and I don't. And it's and people say, oh, you look younger and stuff. I said, yeah, it's because of the pattern of what I do in my life. You know, so I think I'm slowly waking my parents up a little bit. I think they realise that I've got strong. I have ethics. Just because I'm exploring the world, the universe we live, don't assume that I'm into all sorts of terrible things. And that was the problem I had. Is kind of I had something like, you know, if you start growing plants that are medicinal, you're going to be off your head and living on the streets or something. It's like, no, I'm not dealing with spice and things that have been given to them by people or encouraged to create them into some sort of weaponized zombies as a part of some social experiment, or move people away from the idea of that they could actually use medicinal plants and other sorts of extracts to open their mind to new possibilities and new realities. It may just shake that lens, so as the mind refocuses, it learns other things it never had before. And the fear of that connection between another consciousness that will bring people in line with nature. Now there's a oh, strange, I saw something then jumping behind that, it's pretty bizarre. And it's not because I've had something, I just noticed a shadow moved a bit like it was a skinny person. And I don't know, it's just we live in a very interesting universe. And I'm not anti, I just feel there's something not quite right and it can be addressed, and there's a better way of dealing with things. And you know, the older version, time to change really. But yeah, I think the only way to progress forward is just to abandon the capitalist system. It works at one level, but people just companies become ultra rich, greedy, obsessive, controlling, and it becomes counterproductive to society. It's like eating. So I don't mean necessarily cap the money. The government can support an organisation that works correctly, but maybe they could be some driving force to making change in society. And it may be very much true that if you don't put something in place, something else will come into place. And you'll get corporate armies. Well, look at this, the Sri Lanka stuff. God, if I could give me that country and I'll change the whole friggin' lot. And it would scare the shit out of people what I'd do, but I'd bring about so much peace. I would just say, right, because we're at war, it's martial law, and then get them in there. I wouldn't necessarily treat people like dogs or anything like that particularly, but I would crack down hard on them, and I would expect conformity to society, and then just have a social structure that everyone has to fulfill. So if there's a state religion, it will say, well, you can be a Muslim, you can be this, but you must conform to the state religion, and it will be based on the philosophies of other religions, and it will just show the fact that they're all connected, and they're all, you know, it's kind of the esoteric side of it, because it's been extracted from things. So a bit like Sufis, you know, it's that kind of, and then that will be the structure, because like Muhammad and Jesus, it's what you want them to be. Past a point, there's things there, but if there's really important, valuable lessons, that will be the structure, you know, and like karma and everything else. People will read it. I said, look, you read it, your beliefs will develop, but you're understanding that you're creating the most purest focus for your resources. Why does someone want to blow themselves up? It's not a religious thing. But I tell you what, I'd get his whole family, and they would all have to pay the price for his karma. That's the way it would work. I'd have to figure it out, and if I find someone guilty, I'd certainly make an example of them. probably getting pulled in half by elephants. And I film this and say, this is for you, bloody some sort of IS group or some nutbags that they claim to be. It's just bollocks. Nobody claims anything. No one's phoning up and saying, hey, I did that. That guy that blew himself up, that's whose credit comes to me because he's dead, so he can't claim the credit. Nobody's doing that, otherwise they'd trace the number and they'd probably do an airstrike if they really wanted to do. So it's not true, it's just a big load of crap, basically, that they're feeding people. And sadly, we've been absorbed by this culture of propagating war and stuff. Anyway, I think Trump has to come over to the UK because the Queen is his actual leader. The US is a corporate structure owned by the bloody Freemasons, and the Queen's the Queen of them. It's like the Cleopatra coming at you. Yeah, she's certainly got some type of a title. If she's ill, she's looked after by female Freemason nurses. So yeah. Anyway, speak to someone up. Speak to you soon.